Hello, everyone, and welcome to 3-Minute Warning.
Show where we take 5 of the hottest topics in sports and break them down into 3 minutes or less. My name is Michael Medina. With me, as always, my good buddy David Griffin.
And we're also joined by Stephen Fox, our producer in the booth, making it happen. Say hello, Stephen.
What's up, guys?
We're going to get right into it today, talking about some NFL. It was draft day yesterday. The first draft in Chicago, held in 50 years since the Kennedy assassination. It's been a long time since there was a draft in Chicago. Big night. Big stars, none of them there. No, well, a lot of them were there. The top two weren't there.
Yeah, the top two weren't there.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota looked like he was in some kind of. He's got his lays on. He looked like he was
showcasing his homeland.
His homeland, but the thing is, showcasing his homeland. But he's in like some type of like. He could have been in Tennessee. You couldn't tell. He was like in just some big room with a bunch of his family and friends. But he was there. Jameis was in Alabama with his family
taking photos of himself eating crab legs.
Crab legs. What cracks me up is you can see Jameis with his headphones on. If you watch the presentation last night, it was brought to you by Bose.
Oh, yes.
But all the guys, at least the top 3 or 4 guys, all had on Beats by Dre as they were listening to their agents, whoever was talking to them. They all had Beats by Dre on. That was kind of funny. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye himself, Avengers opening up this weekend, did the introduction. It was a nice overhyped intro, but still nice, showcasing Chicago and all of its beauty. Pretty much went as expected. If you're watching the ESPN and NFL broadcast, for the first 4 or 5, they pretty much picked the guys that were going to go. They were like, hey, I think this guy's going to go. And they went. It wasn't really any moments.
No, pretty much. I mean, I think for the last week or so, Jameis had been the projected overall number 1. And again, we talked about this before on 3-Minute Warning. I didn't see Tennessee trading to go get Phillip Rivers. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense. You might as well start fresh, start with Mariota. So I agree with that pick. That's totally fine. Amari Cooper, receiver that I was hoping my Bears would maybe pick up. You know what I mean? But Raiders, I believe went to the Raiders. So it went pretty well. Pretty much expected.
Maybe some unexpected. Your boy from Miami going to the Colts, I think. Because the Colts were the number 1 passing team in the NFL. It's like more of a luxury pick. They don't really need another receiver.
Well, it's a lot like Steven up there in the booth, man. Your Redskins not getting Leonard Williams. Instead, the Jets getting this guy. Yeah, great player. Probably the best player in the draft, but it's like the Jets didn't really need him.
No.
Honestly, I'd have preferred, Kevin White, great pickup for us. I think he's going to be, do good things for us. Nonetheless, I think I would have preferred having Leonard Williams, you know what I mean, over Kevin White.
And there's some more pictures that Jameis took with his family in Alabama. He had a picture of himself with some crab legs. But hey, he either bought them or somebody gave them to him in a legit way.
In a legit way.
I think it's a little bit, I think he's having fun. I don't think it was. I don't know. I think you should just leave that topic alone.
I was going to say.
Coach Harbaugh said, let's just leave it alone.
You want to have fun. I get it. But it's like, I don't know, maybe a little too soon.
Don't shove it in people's faces like, hey, I got crab legs now. Let's talk about your Chicago Bears, though. They got this helmet up here. I don't know if you can see that in frame, but you can see it in the wide shot there.
Beautiful.
There it is. Got some helmet over there. Now I wish I had a Buffalo Bills, even though we did not pick yesterday because we traded last year for Sammy Watkins, which I'm very happy about. Let's talk about Chicago Bears. New wide receiver coming to your
I like him. He had a really good season last year at West Virginia. He's physical. He's strong. He's the type of receiver I always like. That's why I like guys like Brandon Marshall. And I love Alshon Jeffrey. He could maybe put on a few pounds or whatever. But I look at guys like Des Bryant, just big, solid, receivers that run aggressively. And that's what I'm seeing with Kevin White. I think he needs to work on his route running a little bit more. He's still, an unpolished player. He can only get better. So I'm really confident in this pick. I think maybe we should have. It's tough. I think we needed another receiver to go with Alshon, but we do need to strengthen our defense a little bit more. So it's kind of, either way, I'm happy.
I'm excited to see what Buffalo's going to do in the second round. We'll have to wait to see. That's all we have for the NFL draft. It's going all weekend, folks. We have a couple more days of NFL draft coming on. We're going to go right now talking about some NBA playoffs. Those are still going strong. Oh, yes. There was one good game last night. One good game.
Well, it depends.
It depends. If you're from Chicago, last night. If you're from Chicago, last night was a great night.
It was a great
good pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Third highest blowout in NBA playoffs history. 54 points.
Let's just talk about that for a second. What the hell happened?
I don't know. The Bucks looked like they were building momentum.
It looked like they were
playing tough.
Yeah.
And then
at home,
nothing.
At home, nothing. So we were talking about this a little before the show. It's like I don't know if this is just a really great performance by Chicago, or maybe the Bucks were just playing that bad. It was an entirely different Bucks team out there yesterday.
It was bad. But the good game, the one that was good, was the LA Clippers, San Antonio Spurs. This series continues to not disappoint.
Oh, yeah.
Clippers go back to San Antonio and again for the second time in San Antonio win a game that they need desperately to win to bring back to LA and of course, when that game's going to be on. It's going to be on Saturday, the biggest sporting event night of the year, to coincide with the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. So I thought this was an excellent game. Both teams play hard. Both teams are playing. It's not really, they're so evenly matched. You can't be like, the Clippers are playing better, the Spurs are playing better. They're just tough. They're both evenly matched.
No, it's hands down the best series in the first round.
Best coach series too, I think.
That
two
too,
great coaches.
absolutely. We talked a little bit about this even going into the postseason. These two teams were hot to finish the regular season. So, and we talked about this, I think, going into the first round about how San Antonio isn't like your average sixth seed. They really aren't, because again, this is San Antonio. You know, I mean, they've been here before. They know what they're doing. They went into the postseason hot, as did the Clippers. We knew this was going to be, probably the best series. It has not disappointed. Going to a Game 7, I'm so pumped for this.
The only thing I have to put my money on, I would like to see the Clippers. I mean, I'm not like an LA Clippers fan, but I do live in LA, and of the two LA teams, I like the Clippers. It's nice to see them because they've been a mediocre franchise and probably below average franchise for such a long time. They got, the new owner from Microsoft who, he's just into it. He was like crying at one point.
He was crying.
He was into it.
Faces all red.
But he loves his team. So I want to see him do well. So he seems like a good guy. So I want to see, especially after having Spalding for all those years. And that guy does not seem like a great guy. I don't know. I shouldn't say it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a great guy. So I'm rooting for the Clippers, but you can't count the Spurs out.
Nope.
When you have Tim Duncan, 5 championships. You have Parker has 4. Right, he doesn't have the fifth one. Yeah,
he wasn't there yet.
Yeah, so you have 4. Manu Ginobili. When it comes to clutch, those guys, I have to give them the edge.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see the Clippers go through.
Yeah, but then don't forget Kawhi Leonard too. He's young. He's made Defensive Player of the Year. It's tough. I really don't know. I really don't have. I just want to see a good Game 7.
Right.
Really, to be honest with you, and I'm happy with that.
Tonight we have Atlanta and Brooklyn. Now Atlanta is 3-2. So I would imagine they're going to close it out. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Although they haven't really been playing too great this year. I mean, this is number 1 seed. They're not playing like a number 1 seed.
No.
So
we're gonna have our first. If you're wondering when the second round is gonna start, the second round of the NBA starts on Sunday. I believe it's 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. It is going to be the Golden State Warriors and the I'm blanking.
Memphis.
Memphis. Which should be a tough series. Steph Curry, always enjoyable. That's the buzzer. We have to move on. We're going to talk about some boxing because this weekend is coming. It is a huge weekend, especially now with the Clippers-Spurs series going to Game 7. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, probably 8:20, 8 o'clock around there Pacific Standard Time for the main fight, Mayweather Pacquiao. It's here. So there's more stories coming. The hype has to continue. They're interviewing everybody. There are even people that don't probably even watch boxing. Who do you think's gonna win? So let's go to the people that do watch boxing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about Mike Tyson. Look at that deep picture right there, man. Boy's thinking.
Lost in thought.
Deep guy. He called him a very small, scared man when speaking of Floyd Mayweather Jr. A very small, scared man.
I don't get that comment. I mean, it's Mike Tyson, so I guess it does kind of make sense, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, Floyd has some issues. There's been some domestic violence stuff. He's had to go. He went to jail for like 30 days for that. He's got some court cases coming up after the fight. But Tyson has had his own run-ins with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was he with Givens or something? He was one of the actresses back, Robin Givens back in the day, and there was some abuse stuff there. So, I mean, it's like Tyson has no room to speak.
Yeah.
He has had a rough career as well. So
I think it's just Tyson being Tyson. You know, when you hear things like this, it's not unusual when it comes from Mike Tyson. It's like, okay, that sounds about right.
And it makes him almost, because you look at Tyson's career. Tyson, while he was good, which was for a very short period of time, he was very good. Look at Floyd's career has been for 20 years. Sounds like he's a little jealous. Floyd's had been successful for 20 years. Tyson kind of sadly fell off because Tyson was one of those guys, almost like a John Jones, who was an awesome fighter, fun to watch, just so aggressive and brute and finish fights really fast. You wish he could have had like a 15, 20-year career.
Yeah.
But Tyson didn't.
Yeah,
unfortunately. So Tyson's calling him out. We got some other stuff. Suge Knight, he's not doing too well. He's sitting in the jumpsuit in court right now.
He's not at a spa.
No, he's not at a spa. Accused of running over some guys, causing some deaths. Suge Knight just can't stay out of the. He's been like the whole gangster thing. He's played that out throughout his whole life, where his Dre and Snoop have gone off to be moguls and other things. Suge Knight stayed in the thug life. So there's a rumor that, his lawyer said that Floyd Mayweather would pay his $10 million bail bond if he wins the fight. Floyd has not confirmed that.
Yeah.
And just because he said they're friends, I really hope if
Yeah.
Floyd wins, he does not spend $10 million on Suge
Plus,
Knight.
I mean, it's Suge Knight. We all know why he's there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
We've seen
for
the
you
footage.
if
The
you're
footage is
Mayweather.
online if you want to look
Yeah.
at it. Yeah,
It doesn't make Mayweather look good if he goes and bails out his boy after.
No.
I would just stay away from all that.
Do not do that. Ticket prices are slowly dropping right now. On StubHub, you can actually get a nosebleed section.
Slowly dropping.
Yeah, slowly
As in
dropping.
Still, yeah.
You can
ridiculously
get a nosebleed
overpriced.
section for like $780 something, which is lower than the $1,500 face dollar value. Manny Pacquiao alone had to spend $3 million to get his entourage. He's a huge entourage. So he paid $3 million for his own tickets. Fight is coming Saturday, May the 2nd in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand. Make sure you watch it. I'm getting it. Little party going on. It's going to be fun. Fight night. Biggest fight. We're going to talk about some baseball now. Got to move on from boxing and basketball. Baseball, MLB is still going on, even though it's not getting as much attention because it's new. It's early.
Yeah, it's early in the season.
Not quite at the critical point, but there's a lot of good stories right now.
I was gonna say they have been getting some attention though, but unfortunately for the
wrong
negative,
reasons.
the wrong reasons.
Michael and I are both speaking of Kansas City.
Yeah.
Mo Better Blues for the Kansas City, not doing so well. Well, no, they are playing
They're
well.
playing well.
But they're getting news for the wrong reasons. Even when they won, they had a great win last night. They still get the news for like being the new bad boys of the MLB.
It seems that way. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's good and bad. You know what I mean? Like on one hand, it's kind of like when you had like what was it, the Nasty Boys? I think it was the early '90s with Cincinnati. You want to create this image. It's Kansas City. People don't really talk about Kansas City the when it comes to baseball. The Kansas City Royals haven't really been relevant since like the mid to late '80s, really something like that in baseball. So this is new. It's like why not ride this train? Why not create an identity for your team and you go out there, have fun, be tough. Of course, be smart about it. Don't go throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs at guys' heads. Don't go like starting fights for the sake of starting fights just to be tough. But it doesn't hurt you either. If you're smart about it.
Be smart. Kansas City needs to watch out. They are playing well though. We got to
They
give
are
them
playing
credit.
well.
They are playing very good baseball. Other team playing good baseball. Washington Nationals are a strong team. Obviously, they had played the New York Mets last night, who have been strong, but New York Mets had their third straight loss in a row right now.
It's like, kind of like what I said before. So first of all, I thought the Nationals are going to run away with the division this year. It's still early. Anything can happen, but they haven't really been looking solid. They added Max Scherzer to the rotation. Still
Good
kind
Strasburg playing last night.
Yeah, they've been kind of bumpy, whatever. It's not looking great, but it's still early, like I said. But nonetheless, I said this before about New York. A lot of potential. They could be great in the future. I just don't see them being the real deal this season, and I think it's starting to show right now.
Houston Astros beating the Seattle Mariners in the 10th inning, 3-2. Another team. They're different because Washington's supposed to be good. Kansas City, because they went to the World Series last year, they should be good. Houston Astros not picked to be a great team, but they're playing well, 15-7 right now, I believe.
Here's the thing. Last year, they've kind of been like my Cubbies the last few years. They've been horrible, absolutely bad. They did make a few key additions in the offseason. I think people thought that, okay, this will be the start of something big for Houston. I don't think anyone saw this coming because you look at this division, you have Anaheim, you have Seattle. Those are fully loaded rosters. Even Oakland is still, a solid team. So people thought, if anything, it's like, oh, Texas, Houston last place, but Houston not playing like they're doing all the right things, playing good small ball, fundamental baseball, doing what they got to do to win games. Altuve has been a godsend for that team. He was great last year, showing again last night, with the walk-off, hit. So, good for those guys. I love watching teams like that because they're fun to watch,
Yeah, I think it's been a fun baseball season so far. Some ups and downs. Dodgers started hot. They're kind of slipping a little bit. These teams, everything's going to even out, though, in the first 162 games. A lot of time to go. We got to move on. Last topic of the week, because we usually do our Clubhouse edition today, but it's just Michael and I today, so we decided to do just a normal 3-minute warning segment for you guys. We're going to talk about the weekend, what we're looking forward to watching. This is a huge sports weekend. This is our weekend preview. Sports Mania is here. First, we have to start off with the Pacquiao Mayweather fight tomorrow night in Las Vegas. It's kind of funny because I've been watching, some of the Showtime and HBO, like Inside the Boxing, and Mayweather it's weird because Pacquiao is a very fun-loving guy. He seems like he's actually really excited and happy to be here. Some silly like Foot Locker commercial where he's like, he's going to fight me? He's going to fight? He's going, ooh, like he's really happy, whereas Mayweather almost seems burdened by it.
Yeah.
He's very quiet. He's not talking a lot of smack, and he's acknowledging that the press has been like, oh, I'm not talking smack this time, so you guys are getting on me when I do talk smack. You call me too arrogant and cocky. He almost seems tired. He's like, I have 2 more fights left in me. He seems like he just kind of wants this to be over. Even in the stare down, there's really no like hate there.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, Pacquiao looks kind of like awkward, like trying to grin a little bit, look tough, and Mayweather's trying to look tough, but I almost don't buy it. I hope that that's not a sign that the fight's going to be bad. 'Cause I think I don't know, I can't tell if Pacquiao's, I'll ask you a question, Michael. What's worse? Do you think Pacquiao's easygoingness or Mayweather's almost like disinterested in it? Like, what do you think is going to be a bigger
Mayweather's
factor?
disinterest, simply because of the fact, and this was my fear going a few weeks back when the fight was first announced, is Mayweather at the end of his rope? Maybe he's just like, I'm kind of out of it. Pacquiao, both these guys are up there in age.
Yeah.
You know, they're pushing 40. And so it's like, well, I just want a good fight. I don't know if we're going to get a good fight. That's what worries me. I just don't know if they care as much anymore.
Yeah, it's just their mannerisms are very interesting. I can't tell. I feel like Pacquiao is going to bring it, though.
I think so.
Because he throws a lot of punches. He's not a defensive guy.
Yeah.
That's why
I think
he got
might
that
have
really
more
bad
to prove,
knockout a few years ago.
maybe than Mayweather, you know?
I think he has more to prove. I think Mayweather's not going to let it go. You know, these guys are fighters. They're professionals. They get in the ring. They're going to be professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to. But I think maybe just the media. Floyd just seems tired. I think he's out
I
of
agree.
it. Also, the Kentucky Derby. Mike and I, we're not going to admit we're not horse experts.
No.
But the Derby's. I usually just watch the. See, I don't even know the order of the. I usually watch the last one because the 3 major races. Because nothing's. God, it's been how many years since there's been a Triple Crown? It's been
a while.
30, 40 years. Long time. Of course, you have the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and then there's the other one, Churchill, or I don't know. There's another one that happened. I always watch the third one because that's the one you want to see where the horse is, who's going to win it.
Yeah.
That's coming out this weekend. I'll take a look at the Kentucky Derby. It's just a short race anyway.
See what
so
kind of
watch
hats.
it. See what happens. I like the hats. Good fashion. Kentucky Derby. Also, Clippers Spurs.
Game 7.
Game 7. That's the big one to watch. I think that's going to be watched. NFL Draft continues. You can,
Age of Ultron.
Avengers Age
Already
of
in
Ultron. There
theaters
you got a
now.
photo
Look at
there.
that.
There we go. Avengers Age of
at
Ultron.
that.
Michael and I are going to see that tomorrow.
Yep.
IMAX 3D going big. We've got a big day tomorrow. We got Avengers. We got Clippers Spurs. And we got Pacquiao and Mayweather. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day for entertainment. What are you seeing this weekend? Let us know. Hashtag 3MW here at thestream.tv. Love to hear what you're doing this weekend. It is a huge sports weekend. I hope you can find somewhere to watch the fight. Was it at a bar? Be safe. Or at some friend's house. Hopefully it's at a friend's house. I think it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
That's our show today. That's our show for the week. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on Monday with AJ Lawrence, who's actually in Chicago right now. She's amongst all the draft attendees, so she's enjoying herself there. I'm David Griffin. As always, you can find me on Twitter at GriffinDE.
And you can also find me on Twitter at Mr. Michael Alexis, and David and myself right here on the Stream.tv on the Arrow After Show.
And we'll be back on Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, with some more 3-minute warning.